Hello, I'm Robin Vincent and welcome to Surface Sessions. Today we're going to have a look at the brand new Surface Go. Just a very quick look, a small look, an unboxing if you like, while I talk about what it is that I hope to do with this machine, because it's just arrived. Here we go, fresh in from UPS. Now I know over in America you've had it for weeks. But what can you do? I'm in the UK, we're kind of a third world country as far as Microsoft are concerned. And so we get things a little bit later, although not as late as previously. It used to be months, now it's only a few weeks, which ain't so bad. So I'm just going to ramble on while I open this thing up and see what's inside. So the first question is then, why on earth would I be interested in the Surface Go? Well, partly because lots of people have asked about it, partly because I think it's an interesting little product, mainly because of the price, and ultimately the thing that drives me crazy is that no one actually knows how well these things run music production software, which is where my interest lies. Nobody knows until somebody tries it and then reports back on it, and no one except me ever does, really. So I feel this burden perhaps to look at a new Surface when it comes along and to try out different bits of software, different audio interfaces, and just report back as to how that goes. Because there are no guarantees. This isn't an Apple ecosystem where everything is built for the one machine. We're talking about Windows, we're talking about PCs. You know, software on Windows has to work on a gazillion different machines. It's a very different world, and there's no actual way of guaranteeing that a particular application, a piece of software, music production software, an audio interface will work well on any given computer, laptop, tablet. You have to try it and see, because there can be things in there which are just going to prevent it from working. Are you with me so far? In this box you get a couple of things. That's great, that's a nice piece of paper. And this stuff. So there you are, let's try and keep it actually in shot, that would be good. Surface cover. It's a new typewriter thingy, apparently. This time I've gone for black. I've had purple, I've had kind of maroon, I've had blue. So this time it's black. We'll look at that in a moment. This is the actual fella here, wrapped tightly in cellophane, I can see. Microsoft Surface Go, look at it. Yeah, it's going to be nice. I am in no doubt. Now, I had the original Surface 3, which is what this is the successor to. The original Surface 3, not the Pro, the Surface 3, which was an atom-based processor. I got that when it launched. I was actually invited to New York to a launch party, which was extremely cool. Although I was a bit of a disaster. I find I don't travel well. That's a shame. But yeah, on that occasion, they did actually give me the new Surface 3. And that was cool. And I tried it out. And it worked all right. I did a whole load of tests on it. Can't get the lid off. And it ran things okay. Not as good as the Pro 3, of course, because it only has a little processor. And that's the thing. You hear lots of... Oops. You hear lots of people saying, oh, it's going to be rubbish, you know, it's only got a Pentium processor. I remember the days when a Pentium processor was a flipping awesome thing. Oh, and we were running music software back then. We were making music back then. So don't just assume that it's going to be rubbish. Let's see how it is. So there you go. Gosh, that is petite. I think people have phones this size, don't they? Hello? I think they do. Wow. That's very interesting. So, box of things. A tiny little envelope. I don't know. No sweets or anything. I'll put that out of the way for the minute. So there. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Isn't that remarkable? Small. Lovely, precision engineered or something. I don't know, let's get the wrapping off. It says that goes in there, right, okay. It's got a smiley face, camera, microphone, headphones, USB-C. Now that's going to cause me no end of trouble, I suspect. Plug goes in there, power on, and volume up and down. All right. Get rid of that static thing. Yeah. Wow. Now it should have, as I understand it, a proper kickstand. Kickstand. There we go. Not a clunk, clunk, clunk one like with the Surface 3. This has got a proper one that goes all the way down to almost flat. Nice. Liking that. A great deal. It's got a secret slot for a micro SD card in the side. Always good for additional storage. Now, which one did I buy? I bought the 8 gig one. The 8 gig and 128 gig one. So the slightly upgraded version. Not the entry base level 4 gig, 64 gig one. The slightly bigger one. Why did I do that? Well, because I know, as everybody knows, that everything works better if you have more RAM. And you need more space if you're installing sample-based instruments and a lot of DAW software, or you want to do an audio recording. Then hard drive space is a thing that you need. So I went for that. So this isn't the 379 version. This is more like 579, certainly with the keyboard as well. That's an extra. I didn't buy a pen because I have pens. Lots of pens knocking around. Didn't need that. So I've just gone for the unit itself. Let's just compare that to my Surface Pro 2017 that I've got sitting over here. Look at that, look at the difference. That's amazing. It's such a small little thing. Can't quite get over that, how small that is. Like so. Yeah. Oh, can you see that? Yes, you can see that. See that over here, see that over there. Oh, change perspective. Oh no, look now, that Surface Go looks so much bigger. Yeah, alright. So there you go. This I assume is the power in here somewhere. Didn't particularly like the Surface 3 power supply because it was just a wall wart as opposed to as opposed to a cable and then a wart and then a cable. This is similar. Now in here, I'm told there's a UK plug. There we go, UK plug, great, great. So that plugs into there in a very kind of nice way. Yeah, that's kind of what I feared. Because the problem with these sorts of things is that they struggle with 4-ways and bits and pieces. They get in the way, they take up too much room in a plug. But never mind, at least we have the proper power connector, the magnetic one, not, as you had on the Surface 3, a little USB connector, which was not very stable, not very reliable. But what is stable is this piece of tape which is around this cable, because I cannot get it off. I'm going to have to cut it. All right, fair length of cable. There you go. What a cute little thing. So what sort of tests am I going to be running? Well, all sorts of tests. I'll stick Cubase on it, I'll stick Reason on it, I'll stick Ableton Live on it, Pro Tools, Traction, Studio One, anything I get my hands on really. I'm going to try all that sort of stuff out just to make sure that it can record stuff in and out. I'll try a bit of Bitwig, see how the touch goes. I'll put Reactor on there, have a fiddle around in there, some virtual instruments just to see how they fly. But of course, there's going to be one thing I'm going to have to do straight away, which is to dump the Windows 10S edition, which is on here. Windows 10S is awesome. It just lets you play with Microsoft Store apps. So it operates a bit more like an iOS ecosystem where you can only really use the Microsoft Store apps, which are fine, and that's groovy, except I don't actually ever use any of those. I think I use Mail. That's about it. Otherwise, I'm on desktop, I'm Win32 all the way. That's what I like to use. And in music production software, of course, that would restrict you to using FL Studio Mobile, which is a about it as far as the Windows Store's concerned, which isn't bad, but that's not what we want. We want to be using this as a desktop machine. And that's going to push the capabilities of this, because as I understand it, it's quite a slick, efficient machine. However, a lot of that efficiency, a lot of that slickness and speed is to do with Windows 10s, I think, because it's a streamlined experience. It's not having to worry about all the stuff that gets chucked in the background when you're running desktop software. And I think that's going to become an issue. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what it can do when you're running the proper version 10, which you can do. You can just throw a switch and it will reinstall itself into regular Windows 10. At least that's my understanding, but of course we will have to check that out. So, English, yes please.
Hi there.
Oh, hello.
I'm Cortana.
Hi, Cortana.
I'm here to help.
Are you?
A little sign in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there, and we'll have your PC ready for all you plan to do.
Great. Now, if you stop interrupting...
Use your voice or the keyboard along the way, and if you'd like me to stay quiet, just select the little microphone icon towards the bottom of your screen.
That one? Shut up, was that? Okay, good. Thank you, Cortana. Now, this is the keyboard. It feels nice. It feels very similar to the 2017 model that I've got over there. Similar kind of furriness to it. That's going to, you know, soak up breadcrumbs and coffee stains and stuff, which is great. It is a smaller keyboard because it has to be a smaller keyboard because it's a smaller unit. Wow, it's funny. My Pro just suddenly feels really large. So keyboard size. Yeah, see, the perspective thing is gonna shove it all out. So I'll stick it on top of each other like that. So yeah, smaller, but they've saved a lot of space in a lot of places, so that's all right. And the trackpad is actually the same size, if not slightly taller. So that's interesting. They've valued the trackpad, which is good, because I think that's a valuable thing. Not going to plug it in yet. I'm just going to keep going on screen. Now, I'm not going to go through anything in particular. I just wanted to get it started up. Why does it ask you about a second keyboard layout? How many people use two keyboard layouts? I've pondered that ever since they changed the introduction to Windows thing. Okay, don't look. It's got some important setting up to do, which is nice. So while that's doing that, I'm going to put this in. Yeah, that's good. Goes like that. There you are. It's a complete little, this way, it's a complete little laptop. Look at it. Da-da-da. So, yeah. So the plan is to chuck on a load of music software, chuck on a load of plugins, see how well it runs. Now, I'm absolutely not expecting it to be able to do, you know, a 64-piece orchestra or something like that. But if you are running a little home studio, a little mobile studio, you're just recording 8 tracks of audio or a handful of tracks of synths, 16 tracks of something or other, a bunch of virtual instruments and effects, then I reckon it's going to be able to handle that. Or maybe you want to run something like the machine software or a Reactor or some Arturia synth, something which allows you to perform. Just plug this into your MIDI keyboard using, you know, all sorts of things, VIP software or just a DAW to load up different synths. Perhaps it's going to be good at that. I don't know. I mean, you know, 10 years ago I used a little netbook, which was an Atom-powered processor, and that ran the whole Korg legacy software that I used at a gig. Used to play it all from the keyboard. It was brilliant. So you can do all sorts of things. I mean, 20 years ago we were running Rebirth and Reason and Cubase and early bits of Logic and bits and pieces that were running fine. Generator, Native Instruments, software synths. Everything was running fine on systems much lower powered than this. Of course, these days things have evolved and have spread themselves out into all the processing power that's available. But that doesn't mean that you still can't run these bits of software on a lower powered machine. But we will see. Oh, heck. See, I've now got to go and approve my login on my bleeding phone. Okay, done. Moving on. Skip the face thing. Don't like the face thing. It does kind of work. We just end up sort of nodding at a computer, and that doesn't really work for me. See, I love all that. You get through it all, and then it gets to the other end. You go, oh, right, we're here. And then it goes, hi, I'm just getting things ready for you. Beautiful. Anyway, so I'm not going to take up any more of your time. That was an unboxing of the Surface Go. Surface Go. And I'm going to be installing music software on there and testing it out over the next few weeks. So you can expect to see videos about this creeping in a little while. I mean, I'm probably not going to be doing little videos. I'm going to be doing one enormous, fantastic, in-depth, wringing out of the entire system type video. And that'll be great. I'll draw some comparisons with the Surface Pro, you know, just for interest sake, and we'll see if we can make music on this thing. For all we know, it's a complete non-starter. We just don't know. That's the point. That's why I'm here. That's why you need to subscribe. That's why you need to follow. You need to like. You need to comment. Share your thoughts on what you think the Surface Go is going to be all about. Or if there's something specific that you'd like me to test for, then I will. If I can. I mean, I might not be able to. We're just going to have to see how that goes. And I know you think that Microsoft sends me all this stuff for free, but they don't. I've had to buy this myself with my own money. The reason being is because I think it's an interesting product that deserves an interesting review, and I'm going to do that. And my ability to do things like this comes directly from my patrons on Patreon. It's their support and encouragement that enables me to occasionally stuff some cash into something so that I can bring you an interesting and revealing and hopefully successful video. So if this is cool for you, if you like this sort of thing, then please do consider joining up on Patreon and throwing a couple of dollars. That'd be great. That keeps all this thing moving along, which is what we all benefit from. So there you are. Windows. Lovely. It's all good. It's all great to go. Bunch of stuff. I will leave you with the Surface Go. I could turn up some spooky music. Until next time, go and make some tunes.